I hope these are shorter. I hope these are short. We've been reading for 2.5 hours. I don't want every stream to be 4 hours. It will be a lot easier when I'm in London because then at least it would be 9 p.m. when I start, so it would not be too late. But now it's already like 35 past midnight, you know. So like, if I were in London right now, it would be 11:30, which I'd be like, that's fine, that's still okay. But yeah, here it's different. So this is another one that doesn't have a office page but they are called Mad Cat USA, and the SCP that we're reading from them is called Lonely Ragdoll. Ugh. First of all, I can see that it's gonna be a longer one, but that image is definitely not appeasing. Object class Euclid safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2116 is never to be further than 10 meters from -1 at any time. The individual designated as -1 is currently a female, age 20. -1 will never willingly part with SCP-2116. When -1 expires for any reason, a replacement must be found within 12 hours. 12 hours. The age of the individual designated as -1 is irrelevant. Testing has shown that when a suitable subject is found, the anomalous nature will subside. -1 must be a female subject, as males seem to be unaffected by the anomalous nature of SCP-2116. Once a suitable candidate has been located, SCP-2116 has been handed over to the subject by a male researcher. Selection criteria for -1 is listed below in Addendum 1. And here it is, Addendum 1. Must score mid to low on the overall risk sophistication treatment inventory, RST-I. Must score low on the sophistication maturity, S cluster. Must score low on the cognitive S-Cog cluster. Must score mid to low on the emotional emo cluster. In addition, the subject must also meet the following: moderate to low scores in treatment amenability, low scores on the responsibility and motivation cluster, TRES, and low scores on the consideration of intolerance cluster, TCAT. Description: SCP-2116 is a child's doll manufactured sometime in the mid-19th century. SCP-2116 is dressed in a simple red cotton dress with clothes, shoes, and garments consistent with 19th century garb. The head is constructed of a standard bisque porcelain and painted to resemble an adult female. SCP-2116 is otherwise unremarkable in appearance, other than the accumulation of a substantial amount of dirt and grime on the surface. If SCP-2116 is further than 10 meters from the current -1 for longer than 5 minutes, its anomalous property will manifest an alteration to reality within 1 meter radius centered on SCP-2116 itself. The environment, decor, ambient temperature, and furnishing become altered to be more attractive to a pubescent human female. Tables will be set with a pink tea set with teapots filled with a sweet red liquid. Various sweet treats will manifest, and the table cover will become a lace tablecloth of style popular during the mid-19th century. For every hour that SCP-2116 is not in possession of -1, the region of altered reality expands by 1 meter. Testing has shown, so in 12 hours will be 12 meters, but there must be more than that. Testing has shown that the items removed from this region of altered reality retain the altered properties, and food items create are non-toxic and will decay at the same rate as normal items of the same type. Background: SCP-2116 was first discovered when the Foundation agents embedded in the State Patrol detected a call to investigate a house with a dead body. Foundation agents responded to the call and discovered the home of Redacted changed entirely. The entire house, which had been a ranch-style dwelling built in the early 1960s, had been changed to a Victorian-style 2-story dwelling with a steeply pitched roof, white front porch, and a turret-style gable on the front corner. All internal furnishing had been altered and featured sofas, paintings, and other items consistent with mid-19th century homes. In an upstairs bedroom, agents found the body of Redacted, an 80-year-old female. An autopsy revealed nothing unusual. The victim had apparently expired due to a sudden massive myocardial infarction. Interviews with neighbors revealed that the occupant of the house had been an 11-year-old child. Statement indicate that the neighbor did not find anything unusual about a child living alone in the house. Research into possible mimetic effect from SCP-2116 are still pending. Yeah, because like 11-year-old child all by themselves in the house while there's a dead body in it is definitely not okay. Neighbors state that for as long as they had known the victim, she would never allow SCP-2116 to be out of her grasp. Class B amnestics were administered to neighbors and city records were altered to show that the house had always been a 2-story Victorian. During recovery, agents noted that surroundings were being altered as they were investigating and proceeded with due haste. Agent Ragdoll became a casualty during the recovery process when she apparently removed SCP-2116 from the grip of the victim. Agents accompanying her state that they had heard her scream from the upstairs bedroom and subsequently found an oil portrait of Agent Ragdoll, dressed in mid-19th century clothing, with SCP-2116 on the floor next to it. Male agents were able to handle SCP-2116 with no ill effects. It was after SCP-2116 was placed in containment that researchers noted that the rate of conversion was increasing. A D-class female was brought in as a test to see how the anomalous nature of SCP-2116 would respond. The D-class, now designated as -1, had been committed to life in State Mental Hospital after a psychiatric evaluation determined that she was mentally incompetent to stand trial. -1 has been in a persistent catatonic state since her arrest in Test 1 log follows. Okay, so test log, I will just do this once. 10:32 a.m. SCP-2116 is placed in -1's hands. 10:33 a.m. -1 stirs and looks down at SCP-2116. 10:34 a.m. -1 begins stroking the hair of SCP-2116. 10:39:15 a.m. -1 screams. 10:39:20 a.m. -1's hands lock around SCP-2116. 10:42 a.m. high-speed footage shows -1 shrinking in size. 10:30 a.m. -1 is transformed into a doll similar in size and clothing to SCP-2116. Testing has shown that -1 doll exhibits no anomalous properties. Okay, so that did not last long. That was a matter of 7 minutes. 8 minutes. The rate of alteration of the surroundings of SCP-2116 increased noticeably following this test to 1.5 meters per hour. Foundation researchers located a second suitable female D-class. The topic, now designated -1, was a 19-year-old female convicted of brutally stabbing a man while working as a prostitute. The topic was handled SCP-2116 by researcher. Test log 2 follows. Okay, so it won't be that long to read. That's nice. Once again, only do this once. 11:36 a.m. SCP-2116 is placed in -1's hands. 11:37 a.m. -1 looks down at SCP-2116. 11:37:26 a.m. -1 exclaims, "What the is this?" 11:37:30 a.m. -1's hand grips SCP-2116 tightly. 11:37:35 a.m. -1 screams. 11:37:36 a.m. -1 begins to shrink. 11:37:37 a.m. high-speed footage shows -1 hands and arms curving upward and fusing together while the legs draw up into the torso. And at 11:37:38 a.m. -1 has been replaced by a fine china teapot. The rate of alteration did not change. This was short. This was a minute. The rate of alteration did not change the following this test. It's theorized that there's an upper limit to the rate of change possible. I do say that it was a minute, but we don't know if those blanked out dates could be weeks or years, you know? Although it would be weird if that was like, if those were different days. It would be kind of weird. Did not change following this test. It is theorized that there is an upper limit to the rate of change possible. A third D-class was brought in for testing. This subject, designated -1, is a 20-year-old female who was incarcerated for burning down a church following an attempt and an exorcism by her parents and the local priest. Test log 3 follows. Once again, 2:20 p.m. SCP-2116 is placed in Dash 1's hands. 2:20 p.m. Dash 1 throws SCP-2116 to the floor. Ah. 2:21 p.m. SCP-2116 is placed back in Dash 1's hands. 2:21 p.m. Dash 1 looks down at SCP-2116. 12 p.m. Dash 1 smiles at SCP-2116. 2:20 p.m. Dash 1 nods at SCP-2116. 2:15 p.m. Dash 1 hugs SCP-2116. 2:20 p.m. Dash 1 begins to shrink. 2:24 p.m. Dash 1 regresses to an 11-year-old child. High-speed footage shows an extremely rapid regression from her current age to the appearance of an 11-year-old girl. 2:20 p.m. Anomalous changes around SCP-2116 stops. So when the child that they saw in the house, the neighbor saw in the house, was the victim, the 80-year-old woman, who probably was transformed into a child thanks to this SCP, and then when she died, regressed fully to her actual age. A complete search of the site of the initial discovery revealed a photo album containing photos of the deceased subject, designated -0, holding SCP-2116 as a small child. The photograph is dated 1943. Interviews with neighbors indicate that it was the same child that lived in the house. All the photos in the album show a deceased elderly female, presumed to be a relative of -0, holding the same doll. It is unknown at what point SCP-2116 assumed its anomalous properties. All pictures in the photo album featuring -0 show SCP-2116 in its possession. Currently, -1 has had SCP-2116 in her possession for 65 days. No anomalous changes have been detected during this time. Yeah, not yet though. Not yet though. Shit might go wrong. Shit might go wrong. You don't know. I am afraid of dolls, man. Like, dolls are the thing that I really am just uncomfortable around. I just don't like them. I don't like how they look. I don't like how they feel. It's mostly puppets, less dolls. Dolls are fine. Puppets are the things that, like, even like back then, I just didn't like the whole. I mean, now I do, but back then, like the humanoid type puppets, like the Sesame Street humanoid puppets, always freaked me out as a kid. Ventriloquist puppets, I never was really very comfortable with. Yeah, that was a whole thing.